Now let's turn to Israel. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has a lot to say about the war in Gaza. Every day he has a warning to Hamas or Hezbollah or Iran. But here's what he doesn't talk about. What happens after the war? Who rules Gaza? These are questions that Netanyahu refuses to answer, but his ministers have no such problems. Like Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich. He fears that Gaza will become a hotbed of radicalism, and it's a real possibility. You've just killed some 22,000 civilians, flattened entire refugee camps and driven millions out of their homes. It's the perfect setting for radicalism. So the finance minister has a solution, and this is what he's saying. If there are 100,000 or 200,000 Arabs in Gaza and not 2 million, the whole discourse about the day after will be different. Let me simplify that. This Israeli minister wants to expel Gazans. Not all of them, though. He says, let 100 or 200,000 remain, 1 or 2 lakh. As if Israel is doing Gaza some favor. And it's not just one minister. Another example is Itamar Ben-Gvir. He's in charge of Israel's national security. Listen to his plan. I'm quoting again. Not only do I not rule out Jewish settlement in Gaza, I believe it is also an important thing. Both these ministers are far right. They want Israel to settle Jews in Gaza. Just an obvious problem remains. Gaza is not an empty plot of land. It's home to almost 2.3 million Palestinians. Where will these people go? Reports say Israel is looking to relocate them. Netanyahu's government has reached out to multiple countries. One of them is the Republic of Congo, located in Central Africa. Around 52% of its population lives in poverty. Reports say Israel is trying to settle Gazans there in the Republic of Congo. They're calling it a voluntary movement. But will it work? Well, the Americans, for one, won't support it, that's for sure. The State Department has lashed out at both these Israeli ministers. Listen to their statement, I'm quoting again. This rhetoric is inflammatory and irresponsible. We have been clear, consistent and unequivocal that Gaza is Palestinian land and will remain Palestinian land. So Washington won't support it. Neither will Arab countries. Egypt and Jordan have refused to take in Palestinians. Chances are others will do the same. It's simple logic. There is a land dispute between two parties. One party picks up and leaves. What do you think will happen to the land? The party that remains will get it. In other words, Israel gets more Palestinian territory. That's a non-starter for the Arab world. So there's a lot of confusion right now, and a big reason for that is Israel's prime minister. He won't talk about his war aims. Last week, Netanyahu cancelled 3 important meetings, one with the war cabinet, one with Mossad, and one with Shin Bet. All 3 meetings were about the same topic, Israel's post-war plan. But Netanyahu decided to cancel them all. But why is he running away from it? Maybe he doesn't have a plan, or maybe he knows that there is no place for him in the post-war plan. Let me explain. Netanyahu's popularity is in the dumps. A recent poll confirmed this. Only 15% Israelis want Netanyahu to stay on after the war. Only 15%. Many of them want him to step down right now. Is that why Benjamin Netanyahu is prolonging things? He says the war will last for many, many months. But looking at Gaza, there is nothing left to attack. It's just rubble and refugee camps. So the war cannot go on like this. There needs to be a proper goal. The closest Netanyahu came to talking about goals was last month. This is what he said.
The Philadelphia corridor, or to put it more correctly, the southern stoppage point of Gaza, must be in our hands. It must be shut. It is clear that any other arrangement would not ensure the demilitarization that we seek.
So he wants to control the crossing between Egypt and Gaza. But who will control Gaza? Will Gazans still be living there? Netanyahu has no answers to give. His silence is giving space to far-right ministers in his cabinet. Their words may not reflect policy, but they do make a bad situation worse.